does all my money go to? Why am I always broke? What's happening? Why am I broke to stupor? Is this you? Are these the questions you ask yourself? Don't worry, I can relate. I'm going to be sharing with you tips that will help you to manage your funds, your finances, your money better in this year. Let's go. I know how it can be. I know how it means to to work so hard over the year and there's nothing to show for it at the end of the day. At the end of the day, you're like, are you even making progress at all? You're looking at your friends enjoying themselves, and you're wondering, how come they have money and I don't have money? It's probably because you're not managing your finances well. It's probably because you're not managing your funds well. You might be thinking, how come she's advising us on how to manage your finances? This is because I have wealth of experience in doing this. For the past 15 years, I've helped people to save continuously. I've helped people to manage your finances. I've helped people to reach targets and achieve goals that they didn't think they could achieve. So what are the steps to take in managing your finances well in this year? Number one, always have a savings account. A lot of people don't have savings accounts. A lot of us put our money in just one account. As at now, or as an adult, even if you're a teenager growing up, you should know that you should have two bank accounts. Okay, one account for spending, one account for savings. This savings account is going to serve as your emergency account, emergency funds. Some of us have various bank accounts, but then it's not as if one is dedicated to savings and one is dedicated to spending. It's as the money comes, that's how you use it. No, you should have a particular account that is meant for just savings. That account is going to act as an emergency fund account for you. How do you do this? When you get your salary, or when you get your income, or when you get that money they give you monthly, maybe you're a student and they give you that pocket money, what do? You remove a certain percentage from it and take it straight into your savings account without hesitating. Let's say, for instance, you're earning 100,000 naira. Once you get that 100,000 naira that month, the next thing you're supposed to do is to remove at least 20,000 naira into your savings account. If you cannot do that, you can remove 10,000 naira, with 10% of your money into your savings account. That way, you are building up funds in case of rainy days. I'll give you an example. When I was 7, I was earning 19,800 naira from the federal government. I mean, these days, copper has earned 3,000 naira. So, congratulations to you guys. It means you can even save more. Now, where am I going to? During that time, every month, I would remove 10,000 naira into my savings account. Now, someone would be like, you're earning 19,800 and you're removing 10,000 naira to save. Do you want to starve? Come on. It's for a future goal. Now, if you know you cannot starve like that, you cannot do that. I could have as well removed just 5,000 naira monthly. But guess what? By the time I was on my youth service, the money I had accumulated in savings from the beginning of the service year to the end of the service year was the first money I used in my importation business. And that was why I grew my importation business. That was why I grew my sales business. So you can understand the importance of savings. You have to close your eyes while still enjoying your life. The second thing you should consider when trying to manage your funds or your finances is that you need to think of long-term goals. You need to start investing. What do I mean? You can start investing in things like, stock market. You can invest in Nigeria stock market. You can invest in US stock market, any stock market at all, just to tie your money down in dollars so that it can continue to rise for the next few years. You can invest your funds by using apps like Bamboo apps, like Trove. I personally recommend Bamboo app. The third step in learning how to manage your finances or your funds is that you have to learn how to balance your money every month. What do I mean? You have to have an Excel sheet for recording your income and your expenses. You have to compare it. What are you spending? What are you earning? Are you spending more than you are earning? For instance, I do something monthly. I have an Excel sheet where I balance my monthly expenses versus my income. You have to know what you're spending on. If you realize that you're spending more than you are earning every month, then there's a big problem, and that is the reason for doing this. Or if you cannot go through the stress of having an Excel sheet, just comment. I can send you a template, or just check my description box. You'll see how I do mine, a template that you can follow for yours. Now, the fourth step in managing your finances, you have to learn how to drop unnecessary expenses. Yes, because you have done step 3, you're now able to do step 4. You're able to see, what am I spending so much money on? What am I using my funds on that are not necessary? For instance, unwanted or unnecessary subscriptions. Many of us pay for applications that we did not even remember to use afterwards. Many of us pay for monthly subscriptions of data excessive. In a month, you can subscribe up to 6, 7 times.
This is not what a man do. It can't be possible. How?
You have to cut down on that. Another example is Netflix. You have Netflix, you have Prime Video Nigeria. If another streaming platform comes tomorrow, you will still pay for it. Why not channel the energy into one streaming platform? I, for instance, I'm subscribed to just Netflix. Why? Because I'm trying to cut down my expenses. So you need to learn how to remove unnecessary expenses that you can do without, expenses that are not do or die affair, expenses that if you don't pay for them, you can still survive. Those are unnecessary and unwanted expenses. So please cut them out. Cut them out. Step 5, be consistent. All the things I've said so far are sweet to talk about. They're nice to hear. But are you going to be consistent? You have to continuously do this from the beginning of the year till the end of the year. It's not something you do in 2 months and then you forget about it. You have to continuously manage your funds. You have to remember these tips and practice them consistently. And which brings me to my next step, step 6. If you don't know how to be consistent on your own, please get an accountability partner. Get someone that will drive you to save. Get someone that will drive you to follow all of these things we mentioned. For instance, I have a savings group called Bijay Savings Group, where I help people to save money monthly. If you're interested, you can just let me know. Now, what am I doing for these people? I'm helping them to save and I'm also helping them to be consistent. So there's a difference in saving in just a month and saving consistently. Is when you save consistently, that is when you are able to manage your funds properly. Which brings me to my next step, step 7. You have to have self-control. A very important step in managing your finances is self-control and discipline. I would call it self-control and discipline. Self-control means that you are able to control your urge. You have developed yourself so well that you're able to control the urge to get things that you don't want. You're able to control yourself so much that if something is unnecessary, you don't do it. You're able to control yourself so much that you know that, okay, if I don't save this month, I will suffer for it in future. Because all of these things are easier said than done. But once you have the discipline culture, you have the self-control in you, then you are able to do better in managing your finances. But let's say you don't have self-control. You say ice cream, you're going to buy it. You're craving for pizza, you're going to buy it. You're craving for, you're going to buy it. It's not everything you crave for that you have to buy. You have to have the self-control. This brings us to the next step that says expand your course, expand your horizon, and have a side hustle if possible. We are in the era of side hustles. You cannot probably depend on your salary alone. If your salary is big and fat, congratulations to you. I'm happy for you. But if your salary is not big and fat, then you need to understand that you need to have a side hustle in order to manage your finances properly. If you want to live that lifestyle people are living, if you want to go for dinners, you want to go for outings, you want to go for events, then you have to understand that you have to have a side hustle. Because if you take all of these things out of your own source of income, the single source of income that you have, it's possible that you're going to be spending more than you're earning. And that is why it's advisable to have a side hustle. Think about it. What side hustle can I do? What side hustle am I good at? What passion do I have that I can do by the side to get me extra income for me to be able to balance well, for me to be able to survive well on this my particular income? Think about it. Those are the tips and steps I have for you. I hope you found them useful. If you are interested in having an accountability partner, please do comment below or reach out to me personally and I'll hold your hand through this journey. I hope we all become millionaires from listening, watching, and actually taking the steps I have outlined in this video. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.